Hello students. In this lecture, I will revise business ethics chapter, which is section D of paper 5 business laws and ethics. The biggest advantage of this chapter is its weightage. From this chapter, you can expect one or two multiple choice questions, each carries 2 marks, and two descriptive questions, each carries 7 marks. So the combined weightage is 16 to 18 marks. And even if you look at the number of pages of this chapter, this chapter contains around 20 pages. So 20 pages chapter is giving you the weightage of 16 to 18 marks. So don't ignore this chapter. Everyone prepare this chapter. And the biggest disadvantage of this chapter is all the questions look similar, and student writes wrong answer to the question in the examination, and thereby he lose valuable marks. So follow me carefully throughout this marathon. You'll find this chapter very easy. Understood? So first one, meaning of ethics. So let me tell you one example before I start marathon. One day when you are walking on the road, you found one wallet. In that wallet, 10,000 rupee money is there. Some bank debit cards and credit cards are there, and Aadhaar card of a person is also there. Maybe he is the owner of the wallet. Now in front of you, there are two alternatives. Alternative 1, contacting the true owner and returning wallet to the true owner. Alternative 2, enjoy with the money in the wallet. Now which alternative you will choose, which alternative you will select is all about ethics. Understood? So ethics is all about selecting right alternative over wrong alternative. So calling true owner and returning wallet to the true owner, that means you are acting as an ethical person. You are adopting ethical practices. Is it clear? See, ethics is derived from Latin word ethos, which means character. Only human beings will have a character. Non-human beings, non-living things, next animals will not have this word called character. Understood? Ethics is a set of rules that define right and wrong conduct. Ethical principles help you to choose the right alternative over wrong alternative. Ethics is a social science. It's not mathematical science. 1 plus 1 equal to 2. 2 into 2 equal to 4. It's not like that. It all depends on social practices. It deals with the concepts such as right and wrong, moral and immoral, good and bad behavior of dealing with another persons. Ethics is the fundamental principle of decent human conduct. For decent human conduct, definitely you have to follow ethics. Understood? As I told you, ethics is a social science. It is all about study of a society, study of a persons in the society. In choosing the right alternatives, moral options, good options when you are dealing with another person. Ethics are set of moral principles that guides a personal behavior. And these morals are shaped by social norms, cultural practices, and religious influences. Suppose one day your neighbors, your elders entered into your home. Now immediately what you will do? So you will greet them. It depends on your culture. In one culture, people used to greet like this, namaskar, how are you, like this. In Western culture, if you observe, the greeting is like giving shake hand. Understood? So ethics and all these morals are shaped by social norms, cultural practices, and religious influences. Understood? Business ethics and corporate ethics are often used to describe the application of ethical values to the business activities. So adoption of ethics, application of ethical principles while carrying business operations is nothing but business ethics or corporate ethics. Professionals are also individuals who exercise specialized knowledge and skills when providing service to the customers or to the public. Example, doctor, chartered accountant, cost and management accountant. So when you are providing services to your customers or to the public, yes, you must possess competent knowledge, specialized knowledge, and you should provide all those services in ethical manner. Is it clear? And coming to the types of ethics, we are having three types of ethics: meta ethics, normative ethics, applied ethics. Meta ethics, normative ethics, applied ethics. Meta ethics deals with the nature of moral judgment. It looks at the origin and meaning of ethical principles. Example, you should not lie, should not tell lies. You should respect elders. You should not steal properties of some other persons. So this comes under meta ethics. What is right, what is wrong. That's it. This is right thing, this is wrong thing. It is all about meta ethics. It simply focus on origin of ethics and what is correct, what is incorrect. That's it. Normative ethics. This is practical ethics. It is concerned with the content of moral judgments and the criteria for what is wrong or what is right. In normative ethics, the main focus is reasoning, reasons behind ethics. You know what is correct, what is incorrect. Meta ethics will tell you why it is correct, why it is wrong. Normative ethics will tell you. So meta ethics focus is on origin of ethics, whereas normative ethics focus is on reasoning of ethics. Suppose when you are traveling on road, when you are using a vehicle and when you are traveling on road at traffic signals, so if red signal appears, you should stop. You should not jump red signal. It is meta ethics. Why we should stop at red signal? Why? The reason is to prevent accidents. So accidents, because of accidents there will be a loss of human life, there will be loss of public properties. You know, the roads might get damaged, one thing. And second thing, person met with an accident, he may lose his life. Loss of one person life, definitely the family gets affected. So reason behind ethics is all about, you know, normative ethics. Reason why it is right, why it is wrong. Next one, applied ethics. Applied ethics looks at controversial topics. The best example for applied ethics is business ethics, professional ethics. It looks at controversial topics. See, every time every human person will be placed in a situation where he will be given two alternatives. One is correct alternative, the other one is incorrect alternative. You know, correct means good alternative, moral alternative, just alternative. The other one is immoral, a bad alternative. Now choosing right over bad is all about ethics. So in all these controversial topics, so applied ethics plays a crucial role. For example, war, animal rights, capital punishment. Right now war is not an acceptable practice, but some 500 600 years back war is an acceptable practice. To increase the area of kingdom, to increase the kingdoms, you know what kings used to do earlier times? One king used to declare war on another king. So if the first king wins the war, the second kingdom becomes part of the first kingdom. So if you observe, the kingdom, the size of the kingdom gets increased. So revenue to the king gets increased. With that increased revenue, he can take welfare activities. So war is a acceptable practice. War is an acceptable practice earlier. Right now, war is not an acceptable practice. Understood? So applied ethics always looks at controversial topics. Importance of ethics in human life. Let me take you as an example. You are a student. Right now coaching is completed and you are going to appear to the upcoming exam. You are going to appear upcoming examinations, yes or no? Imagine you are left with 3 months time for revising all the concepts of CMA Inter. In front of you 90 days time is there. Each day 10 hours you can spend on reading. So 900 hours you are having to complete preparation of CMA Inter and you can attempt examination. Now each day you will have two alternatives. One alternative you enjoy. Okay, postpone the schedule. So tomorrow I will read. So today let me watch movies. Let me play cricket. So this is one alternative. And the other alternative, completion of schedule as and when is required. So today, yes, you fixed schedule of reading business ethics. So completing that schedule. So come on, tell me which alternative you will select and why you will select that alternative. So definitely I will select the alternative, you know, preparation only, sir. I'll postpone all the enjoyments after examination. So because of choosing this alternative, you can accomplish your goals. You can perfectly attempt exams. You can definitely achieve success in the exams. Once you qualify these examinations, once you become a cost and management accountant, so you can definitely get a good job, or you can choose a practice as a career, or you can start a business. So your standard of living gets increased. Yes or no? Your standard of living can be improved. So right now your income earning is zero, but once you finish, you know, CMA Inter and CMA Final, once you become a cost and management accountant, you will be placed in a job, or you may start your own practice, or you may start your own business. So your income earning gets started quickly. With that income earning capacity, you can lead a good life. Not only you, your parents and your next generation, that means your kids. So all three generations depends upon your preparation. Yes or no? So now tell me, choosing a right alternative over bad alternative is nothing but ethics. Let's look at the content. Ethics is a requirement for human life. It is our means of deciding a right course of action. Only through actions you can achieve your goals. Without ethics, your actions will be random and aimless. So no achievement of targets. It's just random and aimless. Even with an ethical standard, we may be unable to pursue our goals with the possibility of success. Yes, of course, following ethics is alone is not sufficient. Hard work is also required. So what I'm telling you is just following ethics, following ethics, following ethics. One cannot achieve goals 100%. Along with ethics, hard work is also required. To the degree which a rational ethical standard is taken, we can correctly organize our goals and actions. What is your target? And for achieving the target, what are the inputs you need? What are the actions you need to perform? You just try to correlate them. Any flaw in our ethics, if you are not following correct ethics, if you are not following correct option, it will reduce your ability to be successful in your future, in your endeavors. A proper foundation of ethics requires a standard of value to which all goals and actions can be compared to. A system of ethics must further consist of not only emergency situations but day-to-day choices we make constantly. So some students, if you observe, a week before examination, a month before examination, day before examination, they will start preparation. So they will spend 24 hours. Okay, 6 hours of sleep time. Okay, apart from sleep time, they will try to invest 18 hours time, before examination. I'm telling you, sorry, I'm asking you, is it a correct practice? So practicing ethics only at emergency situations will give you, do you think it will give you desired results? No, not at all. So you should follow ethics in your day-to-day lives. It must include our relations to the others and recognize their importance not only to our physical survival but to our well-being and happiness. Next, nature and relevance of ethics to the business. So this concept, this relevance of ethics to the business. On this concept, we are having 3 to 4 questions. So don't get confused with these 3 to 4 questions. So try to understand the concept and remember the concept. Clear? And many students, they're remembering the examples and they're reproducing examples in the examination. But that is not a correct practice. That is not at all a correct practice. You have to reproduce the content of the each and every question answer. Understood? So it is very important to remember the content, not the examples. Even in your examinations, they are not asking practical scenarios. They are asking you direct questions. Is it clear? Next one, nature and relevance of ethics to the business. Sir, why business people should follow ethics? Let me give you one small example. And this example is sufficient for all the questions which are connected with business ethics. So follow me carefully, ma. So today, a business organization is having multiple stakeholders. Let me give you one small example. Every business organization, yes, you all know business is an economic activity, yes or no? So it involves, procurement of raw materials, processing materials into finished goods, and selling these finished goods to the customers. And next one, rendering services to our clients. So business is an economic activity. Next one, ethics is a set of rules that help you in selecting a right conduct over wrong conduct. Now listen to me carefully. Business organization, for producing finished goods, definitely they need raw materials. So they get raw materials from suppliers. And using a labor, machinery, so they process these raw materials. So they convert these raw materials into finished goods. And they will sell these finished goods to the customers. Now from these sales, yes, every business organization is liable to collect and pay goods and services tax to the government. Yes or no? Of course, negative list ignore. Negative list of goods and services you ignore. I'm telling you a common point. At the end of the year, whatever profit this business organization is having, on that profit they need to pay income tax to the government. Now if you observe carefully this particular business organization, now how many people are connected with this business organization? One is supplier, next employees, labor employees, next the customers, central government. Yes or no? Not only these people, investors, for purchasing machines, for purchasing raw material, definitely you need investment. Yes or no? So this investment, yes, investors will make investment. Few investors are owners of the business organization, and others are creditors, non-trade creditors, like bankers. bankers. So these people will provide finance to the organization in order to carry business operations. Now, as a manager or as a CEO of this organization, you need to protect the interest of all the persons connected to this business organization. How? You need to make timely payment to the suppliers. You are having funds, but you are not making payment to the supplier. If supplier is calling you, you are telling that I'll make you payment after 1 week, I'll make you payment after 1 month. This is not ethical. So make timely payment to the suppliers. Make timely payment of wages to the employees, salaries to the employees, wages to the labor, salaries to the employees. And we are having other acts like Gratuity Act, Bonus Act, Provident Fund Act. Obey all those laws and accordingly make payment to the employees. Next one, provide the goods, produce the goods and sell the goods to the customers according to the customer expectations. Understood? So what customer needs, first you study the needs of customers, accordingly produce the goods and sell the goods. So provide the best quality goods at reasonable prices and make payment of taxes to the central government in a timely manner, so that you can be part of development of the economy. You can be contributor to the development of the society, development of the country. Next, provide adequate returns to the investors and make timely payment of all installments to the creditors. So all this comes under ethics only. Are you all getting my point, students? Everyone. Now let's look into the material ones. Organizational culture, management philosophy and ethics in business each have an impact on how well a business performs in the long term. See, many business organizations, they failed to perform in long term. So they came into the industry and they performed in short term and they failed to run in long term. The reason is lack of ethics. It's exactly lack of ethics. See, any person can cheat one person only once in the lifetime. If you cheat one person in lifetime, the other person will definitely lose trust over you. If you sell cheap quality products at cheaper prices to the customer, one time he will purchase, looking at the price he will purchase, but after consumption of the product, if he come to know that this product is very cheap, the quality of the product is very cheap, understood, this is not at all a reasonable thing, so this business organization is trying to cheat us. So if customer gets that kind of conclusion, if customer is at that kind of conclusion, he will not look at you. If customers are not coming to you, definitely your business is a failure model and you will end up with coming out of the market. You can't achieve a long-term success. Understood? So organization culture, that means organization beliefs, their policies will have an impact on the business in long term. No matter the size, whether you are a small industry or whether you are a big company, whether you are a profitable company or not for profits company, suppose charitable organizations, business ethics is compulsory for long-term success. The management team sets the tone for how the entire company runs on day-to-day basis. So it's the management, management is responsible with the designing these ethical policies, training the employees to adhere to follow these ethical policies. Building on a foundation of ethical behavior helps create long-lasting positive effects for a company, including the ability to attract and retain highly talented individuals. If you are making payment of salaries on timely basis, if you are making payment of bonus on timely basis, definitely you can recruit talented individuals and you can retain them in a long run. And it helps you in creating positive reputation in your locality. Running a business in an ethical manner from top down builds a stronger bond between individuals on the management team, further creating stability within the company. See, let me tell you one small issue. Seema, there are two types of managements. One management, in order to make employee work productively, so one management is offering incentives. So if you complete this target within this time, so you'll be given 10% bonus, 10% of your salary as bonus, or 20% of your salary as bonus. This is one management. Other management, it is telling like this: if you are unable to finish your work, I'm going to remove you, I will terminate you, or else 50% penalty. You have to pay 50% of your salary as a penalty. So now tell me, which management is good management and which management is bad management? First management is good, sir. With respect to first management, the employees feel a friendly atmosphere in the organization and they will try to work for the growth of the company. Now coming to the second management, here employees feel they are like this: if I am unable to finish the work, my salary will be cut. So without any productivity, he will try to finish the works. He will not bother about, he will not focus on the errors, he will not focus on the mistakes. He will try to complete the work within the time. And moreover, whenever time comes, he will try to earn unlegal or undue advantage from the company operations. For example, in the second organization, employee is having a responsibility to enter into an agreement with a supplier. Now employee, he will try to collude with supplier. He will ask supplier like this: supplier, you supply material at higher prices. 80 rupees is the price of the product, right? You provide invoice 100 rupees, so you will get a gain of 20 rupees, right? 15 rupees you keep, 5 rupees give it to me. So like this, if employees start doing these practices, so 20 rupees is a loss to the organization. And why that employee is doing like that? Because the top level management is not creating a friendly environment. It is trying to direct the salaries whenever employee is committing a mistake. So because of these practices, definitely organization will lose a lot of profits. At one point of time, a shutdown will take place. That organization will shut down. Understood? Everyone getting my point, students? So you should create a friendly environment among the employees. When management is leading an organization in an ethical manner, employees also follow in those footsteps. Employees make better decisions in less time with business ethics as a guiding principle. This increases productivity and overall employee morale. So offering bonus, one management, whereas punishment, another management. You can observe where you find the productivity of employee. When employee completes work in a way that is based on honesty and integrity, the whole organization benefits. Or else, employee will try to earn commissions from the company operations. It leads to loss to the organization. The importance of business ethics reaches far beyond employee loyalty, moral strength of a management team bond. As with all business initiatives, the ethical operation of a company is directly related to profitability in both short and long term. See, at the end of the day, investors will look at the profits of the organization. If it is in profits, definitely investor will assign with the organization, or else investor will come out of that organization, yes or no? And not only investors, employees also. If employees are getting regular salaries on timely basis, they will work in that organization, or else they will resign from that organization. The reputation of a business from surrounding community, other businesses, individual investors is paramount in determining whether a company is worthwhile investment or not. So these are the factors affects investment. Understood? If a company reputation is less, obviously no one will come forward to make investment in that company. So yes, organization will lose investors, organization will lose the value of share or the value of the business. With consistent ethical behavior comes increasingly positive public image. There are few other considerations as important to potential investors and current shareholders. Next, to retain a positive image, business must be committed to operating on an ethical foundation as it relates to the treatment of employees, respect to the surrounding environment. You should promote environment protection practices and fair market practices in terms of price and consumer treatment. Business ethics is an applied ethics. As I told you beginning only, business ethics is the best example of applied ethics. Businessman, take a example of CEO, take a position of CEO. He will have two alternatives. One alternative, yes, produce a cheap quality product, sell it at a normal price. But because of this, what happens? Exploitation of consumers will happen. Consumer health gets affected. So this alternative is not a good alternative. And the best alternative is produce a product with a better quality and sell that product at a reasonable prices. So this definitely helps organization to achieve success in long run. Next one, 7 principles of ethics in public life. Important topic. So you can expect this question for 7 marks. See, in the year 1994, the Prime Minister of Britain country, the British government appointed a committee called Committee on Standards in Public Life. So what is the name of committee? Committee on Standards in Public Life. See, this committee is for advising the Prime Minister on ethical standards of public life. And this committee was established in October 1994 in order to examine the current problems, current concerns, current situations about standards of conduct of all holders of public office. Holders of public office means, ministers, MPs, Member of Parliament, MLAs, bureaucrats and all these civil servants, IAS, IPS officers, IRS officers. Next, IPS includes IPS means police only, right? So again, asking police separately, no, no, no. So all these comes under, holders of public office. So what is the main objective, what is the main duty of these people, MLAs, MPs, civil servants? So they should take action which results into the uh, public welfare. Understood? So they work for the welfare of public, they work for public. So all the holders of public office, so they should follow these principles. First, this committee identified the current concerns about the standards, and next, this committee is for making a recommendation regarding changes in present arrangements which might be required to ensure highest standards of propriety in public life. Yeah, sitting in the position of prime minister, it is not possible to him to interact with the public and what are the problems faced by the public, so how the problems will be solved. So that's why, what prime minister will do. Prime minister, under prime minister you'll find, bureaucrats, you'll find the public servants. So through public servants, prime minister can know the problems of the public, and these people, holders of public office, are directly connected or directly available to the public. So if these people are working in a good manner, definitely public gets benefited, or else public will be at loss. Understood? So to review the current scenario and to make recommendations in order to enhance, in order to improve the standard of living, yes, the British government appointed a committee, and the 7 principles of public life were set out by Lord Nolan for the first time in the year 1995, and this keep on amended over a period of time. And the 7 principles are selflessness, selflessness, selflessness. It is all about choosing a public interest versus personal interest. As a holder of public office, you should work for public interest only. You should not try to earn profits from your duties. Understood? Suppose you are a police, or imagine you are a judge. A case came to you. The person who committed crime, who committed offense, is offering you a good amount, like some 10 crores. So please take this 10 crores. Achha, fine, fine. Let me change my example. You are a IRS officer, you are a commissioner of income tax. A case came to you. In that case, a person, he didn't pay income tax of 30 crores. Now, as a commissioner of income tax, you must issue an order asking him to pay 30 crores tax, next interest and penalty. But that person offered you 10 crores bribe. Now, what you have to do? So 10 crores amount is coming to me. This is one alternative. Other alternative, imposing interest fine, giving order to that person. If I give order to that person, government will get a revenue of some 50 crores, including interest fine, it is 50 crores. So if I choose this option, I'll get 10 crores benefit. If I choose that option, government get 50 crores, I get nothing. So for me, it is 0. So now which option I should select? So this 10 crores is definitely a tempting option. Personal interest, definitely a tempting option, but you should not select this option. You should be selflessness. You should select an option which gives benefit to the public. So you should select the option of imposing a fine interest. You should issue an order. Understood? Selflessness, it is all about public interest versus private personal interest. Next, integrity. So holders of public office must avoid placing themselves under any obligation to people or organizations that might try inappropriately to influence them in their work. So you should not stand in a position, where you are biased to someone, some group, or where you are taking a decision which is favorable to your personal family members, your relatives. You should not do like that. You should make a decision which is beneficial to the public at a large. Objectivity. So you should be strictly impartial. You should be fair, and based on the evidences, based on the documents, you should make a correct decision, even without any discrimination or bias. You should act as an unbiased person. Accountability, answerability. Accountability means answerability. So you should place yourself under the public. So you should feel public is a great personality, public or great persons, and always whatever decisions you are taking, whatever actions you are implementing, so at the end you should be answerable to the public why you did like this. Understood? You should not feel yourself as a superior. Yes, I'm superior, all the public are next to me only, so whatever I tell, public has to listen. You should not be like that. Understood? Next one, openness. Holders of public office should act and take decisions in an open and transparent manner. So whatever decisions you are taking, why you are taking the decisions, you should answer to the public. Next one, honesty. That means truthful. Next one, leadership. You should exhibit these principles in their own behavior. They should actively promote and robustly support the principles and be willing to challenge poor behavior whenever it occurs. So yes, whenever a lead comes, whenever a change of arrangements comes into the picture, you should take a initiative. You should ask public to comply all these policies. Are you getting my point, students? Suppose government introduced a policy. For example, Swachh Bharat. Now you should take initiative for implementing these policies, and you should make all the people to follow these policies. Understood? See, one point I can tell you: holders of public office, they get salaries from the taxes paid by the public. That's what they are public servants. They should serve public. Are you all getting my point, students? Even MLAs, MPs, they are people representatives. Their agenda is to serve people. Their agenda is to serve public. So they should place themselves in a position to satisfy all these 7 principles. Are you all getting my point, students? Everyone, very important topic. So what are those 7 principles of ethics? Come on, tell me, what are those 7 principles of ethics? Selflessness, integrity, objectivity, accountability, openness, honesty, leadership. Remember all these 7 points. Very, very important. 7 points for 7 marks. Next one, code, committee on standards in public life. Remember these committee names. Remember these years. It is important for multiple choice questions. Next one, relationship between ethics and law. See, I can tell you one small point. Law is a set of codified norms. Ethics is a set of moral practices, moral principles. The main difference between ethics and law, as I told you, it is a set of codified norms. A parliament first, it will draft a bill. Once the bill is approved by both the houses of the parliament, it is sent to the president for consent. Once president gives consent to the bill, it becomes act. Understood? Act plus rules plus judgments, all put together, we call it as law. Ethics, it's just a moral principles. Understood? And these moral principles, they keep on changing from time to time. Example, earlier days, we had a concept called sati. When husband die, wife should also die along with the husband. And there is a concept called untouchability. So in society, people were divided into 2 groups: higher caste groups, lower caste groups. Lower caste groups should not sit along with higher caste groups. Lower caste groups should not eat along with higher caste groups. They should not reside along with they should not reside with higher caste groups. They used to reside at a place far away from higher caste groups. So untouchability concept is also there. Right now, can you see these concepts? Sati, untouchability? No. So when environment is getting changed, when the society is getting changed, we are eliminating old practices and we are entering into the new practices. So ethics is something, it is not static in nature, it is dynamic in nature. It keeps on changes with the changes in people behavior or something like that. Understood? Whereas law, it is fixed. Law is fixed. Once law is framed, you have to follow that law until it gets amended, until it gets repealed. Are you all getting my point, students? And one small point, ethics starts where law ends. Ethics starts where law ends. It is not possible to codify everything in a law. It is not at all possible. We will recognize good practices. In law, what we do, we will recognize good practices and we will recognize bad practices. Good practices, you have to follow. Bad practices, if you follow bad practices, you will be punished. Understood? So law obviously comes from ethics, but complete ethics you will not find in law. That's what ethics start where law ends. Law and ethics both serve similar purpose of guiding human conduct, make it conducive to the civilized social existence. They enforce a sense of right and wrong. Law refers to a set of codified norms which are enforced by the state. State means government. They act as external obligations. You have to fulfill them. Whether you like them or not, you have to fulfill them. Suppose at a traffic signal, red signal appears, you have to stop. No, sir. I will go, sir. No. It is not possible. External obligation. On the other hand, ethics refers to set of norms which guide our internal compass and judgments. Like I told you, finder of lost goods. So if you are an ethical person, you will try to find out the true owner and you will return all the things to the true owner. It's your internal compass and all about judgments. Ethics guides you internal compass and judgments. Law is external, ethics is internal. While laws apply uniformly to all, irrespective of religion, culture, and area, everyone should follow the law. Sir, I came from a traditional family, sir. So I'll do these practices when I incorporate a company. So I'll file all the annual returns on a good day only, sir. I will not file annual returns on bad days, sir. Like we are having the days, right? We will see the days like, for example sake, I'm telling you, we are having 2 days like Amavasya. Next one is Purnami, full moon day. The other one is no moon. So, sir, I'll file all the annual returns, all the financial statements on good day only. Even if the 60th day, actually, annual returns shall be filed within 60 days of conclusion of AGM. 60th day is not good day, sir, so I won't file it. Can I do like that? Not at all. The law is uniformly applicable to all, whether you came up from one religion or other religion, it is immaterial. You have to follow law. Ethics vary from person to person, they change more frequently than laws. Very frequently, ethics gets changed. Whereas laws, it's a fixed thing. Until and unless it gets amended or repealed, you need to follow those laws, whether you like it or not. In case of breach of law, government is having the right to punish, hence work as a medium of retributive justice. That means, not only committing mistake, even if you attempt to commit mistake, you will be punished. Understood? You try to kill a person, you killed a person, or you attempted to kill a person. Both the cases, you will get the punishment. So this will act as a measure from preventing of happening offenses. On the other hand, ethics were generally not at all enforceable. Yes, breach of law enforceable, breach of ethics not enforceable. The relationship between laws and ethics is a complex one. Many laws are representative of ethics of the time, and they have been shaped by what is considered ethical. Now, discipline, accepting, promise keeping, prudence. Next one, all these were recognized in Indian Contract Act. You can see, promise keeping. If you breach the contract, you'll be punished. Understood? So ethical practices were recognized by the law. Not all ethical practices, only few. The idea that everyone is equal before law is derived from the value that human is born equal. At the same time, laws also shaped ethics. Laws have shaped ethics. Yes, a laws related to untouchability. Next one, abolition of sati, abolition of patandars. So all these also shaped ethics. If there is no law regarding untouchability, then people might have followed the same practices. So entire public is divided into two groups: higher caste, lower caste. Higher caste will not look at lower caste people. Higher caste people will not encourage lower caste people from getting good jobs. Understood these scenarios? Next one, law can never be so exhaustive. Law is never an exhaustive thing. So if you start writing a law, it never ends. Why? Because the environment is dynamic in nature. So covering all the aspects, it is highly impossible. Even if you cover today, the tomorrow is a new thing. Tomorrow will be a new thing. How can you cover the future things? You can predict and you can write a law. But the point is, in future, suppose if things gets changed very quickly, then how can you guess them and how can you make them part of law? Understood? In such scenarios, ethical behavior should come from within. Best example, previously robbery happens. Robbery used to happen at banks or at your homes. Yes or no? So thieves used to come to your home and they will rob something. Right now, you are keeping money in a bank. Yes or no? Everything is digitalized. Now for making a robbery, what these people are doing, they're making a hacking. They're hacking your bank accounts and they're transferring all the money in your account. So all this comes under cyber crimes. So it is not possible in earlier days to detect a cyber crime or to identify cyber crime and to punish the people who are committing these cyber crimes. Earlier days lawmakers don't know about this concept. Right now, when we are looking at these things, yes, we started framing laws to cover all these things. Are you getting my point? So previously robbery is a crime. Right now, hacking is also a crime. Hacking some personal information, personal data is also a crime, like that. There are many scenarios where laws cannot exist, as we cannot have strict laws to scrutinize every small act of corruption. Even with laws, some unethical practices continue to exist, such as violence against women, domestic violence. Laws and ethics are equally important and go hand in hand. Next one, values and attitudes of a professional accountants. See, after clearing your CMA final examinations, you'll be a cost and management accountant. As a cost and management accountant, you're having three alternatives. One is practice career, CMA in practice. The other one is employment, and the last one is business. So about business, I discussed with you so far. Now I'll discuss with you. I'll revise the things regarding practice and employment. So once you achieve your qualification, either you may select either of these three options. Business ethics, so far I discussed with you. Now practicing as a practicing cost accountant or as an employee of an organization, what you have to do, what ethical practices you have to implement from day one onwards. So that is all about, role of professional accountants. Role of professional accountants in business, role of professional accountants in their profession. Understood? So the roles professional accountants take on a vast array of other roles in a business of all sorts, including public sector, not for profit sector, regulatory bodies, professional bodies, and like that. As a professional accountant, you will have a no, your scope is not a limited scope. That's what your scope is, not at all limited. You will have unlimited scope. Suppose as an engineer, as a designer, for example, I may design a project. For designing the project, I need some resources. For procuring these resources, who should help me? Finance department should help me. Next one, once the design is completed, now I should start building up the project according to the design. For that, I need resources. Who will manage all those resources? Finance department. For getting these resources, finance department has to make payment. Finance department has to make a sufficient finance reserves so that it can help me in developing the design and developing the project. Now once project is ready, so I should explain to the clients and I should get orders from the clients. Once the project is sold, so whatever money is getting, finance department will collect that money. And as an engineer or as an employee of the organization, I expect a salary and I expect a bonus at the end of the project. I expect some additional benefits. And who should take care of me? Finance department. Who will be present in the finance department? You, cost accountant or a management accountant. You will be placed in the finance department. Now you should take care of all these activities. That's what I am telling you. As a professional accountant, your scope is not at all limited. Your scope is unlimited. Your scope includes public sector, private sector, not for profit sector like charitable organizations, regulatory bodies, professional bodies. The wide ranging work and experience find commonality in one aspect, their knowledge of accounting. So common thing, you know all these departments. At the end, you have to carry accounting. You have to account each and everything. Yes or no? Everything, but in an ethical manner. Sir, how ethics help in this accounting, sir? See, ma'am, you're a cost accountant. Some bills came to you. Bills regarding production came to you. Out of 10 bills, 9 bills are connected to the production. And another one bill, it is, it's a personal expenditure of a director. It's a personal expenditure. It's not even a business expenditure, personal expenditure of director. Now, as a cost accountant, you should consider only these 9 bills in finding out the cost of production and in finding out the sale price. Sir, what happens if you include this one bill? The cost of production gets increased and sale price may not be reasonable. Ultimate burden you are shifting to the public. It is not at all correct. It is not a correct ethical practice. Understood? So looking at the bills, looking at the cost, first you need to recognize which cost is a direct cost, which is an indirect cost, which cost we should apportion to the product, and finally arriving to the cost of production, and finally adding some margin to reach the selling price. Understood? So just I'm having accounting knowledge, debit what comes in, credit what goes out, debit the receiver, credit the, yes or no? Are you getting my point, students? So simply knowing the principles of accounting, I know I'm having a knowledge of accounting alone is not sufficient. You should work beyond it. Professional accountants in business have the task of defending the quality of financial reporting right at a source where the numbers and figures are produced besides the cost accounting. Like the counterparts in taxation or auditing, professional accountants in business play important roles that contribute to overall stability and progress of the society. Yes. Now, if you include this one bill, what happens? Cost increases, profit comes down, payment of taxes to the government will also come down. This is the personal expenditure of director. You should debit that expenditure to the director. Understood? So you must make for that amount director as a debtor. Collect that amount from the director. That's it. So don't follow simply whatever they tell you. Apply your common sense. Next one, of course, ethics is all about application of common sense only. A competent professional accountant in business is an invaluable asset to the company. These individuals employ an inquiring mind to their work founded on the basis of their knowledge of company's financials. All the examples I discussed with you are connected with these points. Everyone getting my point, students? So just look at these points. Cost management. Cost management is an activity of managers related to planning and control of costs. Managers have to take decisions regarding use of materials, process, product designs, and how to plan cost or expenses to support the operating plan for the department or section. Now, when you are appointed as a cost accountant, now you have to take care of all these things. So what is the material required for producing a product? What design we are following? While following these designs, what would be the cost, expected cost? You have to make all the decisions and you have to make allocation of these resources accordingly. Then only you can reduce the cost. Cost reduction means terminating employees, half of the employees, and asking remaining employees to work overtime. Understood? It is not like that. Terminating employees and allowing other employees to work overtime. It is not a correct ethical practice. Next one, all these activities come under cost management. Information from accounting system help managers in cost management account activities. So like what, at what prices suppliers are ready to supply the material, and what is the quality of the material offered by the supplier. So best quality at reasonable prices. You have to select and you have to procure those materials. If raw material is superior quality, then the finished good will also be a superior quality product. Understood? But the cost accounting system and the report it generates is not the cost management system. It is a part of cost management system. Accounting system, cost management system looks similar, but they are not same. Accounting system is a part of cost management system where cost accountant will make a decision, will interpret the situation and will make a reasonable decision. Cost management is not cost reduction alone. So cost control is also there. It is much broader. Organization generally increases advertisement expenditure to increase sales, increase research and development expenditure to promote new products. Here, the managers are deliberately incurring additional cost in a period, compared to previous periods, as they expect more profits from such decisions or expenditures. Cost management system has to ensure that the cost is incurred with the expectation of a profit. Understood? So each and every rupee you are spending with an intention of earning profit only, and that too in ethical way only. Clear? Role of management accounting. Now here, the designation offered to you is a management accountant. So definitely you will have these three things. You have to perform all these three things. One is problem solving. Next one, score keeping, attention directing. First, you need to identify the problem. For that, first you need to fix the standard. And compare this standard with actual results. What is the standard result and what result we achieve? Comparison will give you variances. So those variances you have to identify and you have to frame a new strategy or a new policy to control those variances. It's like standard costing. For example, at the beginning of the year you'll be given a budget. So for producing 1000 units of a product, yes, some 50 lakhs is a budget offered to you. At the end of the year, the actual cost for producing these 1000 units went up to 60 lakhs. So definitely, yes, there is a problem. Yes, problem in this particular department. Identify the problem and identify the variance. What is the variance between standard and actual, and try to eliminate that variance. So problem solving. Next one, score keeping. Score keeping records the results of various actions of the managers and helps in assessing whether the results expected from various actions are realized or not. So what actions actually implemented by the managers in the operation department? and what is the result of the department. So compare them, identify the variance. The score keeping function is a combination with expected results and comparative analysis of scores of various companies, divisions, and departments. And this comparative analysis of present period scores as well as with previous period scores will give you an opportunity of focusing attention of the manager to improve the things. To improve the things. Example, best example, last year 10 crores is the turnover, profit is 2 crores. Now the turnover is 20 crores, whereas profit is just 3 crores. In spite of increase of turnover by 100%, the profit increased to only 50, profit is increased by 50% only. Turnover doubled, whereas profit it is just 50% got increased. So what is the reason? Identify the area, pay attention, and try to resolve those errors. This is all about implementing ethical practices in the business. Next one, business code of ethics and its relevance to the business. Previously I discussed with you relevance of ethics in business, but this is framing a code of ethics. Every organization should frame this code of ethics, and it should train their employees, it should train their managers, everyone should be accustomed to follow those ethical practices. Understood? So a business code of ethics is a body of policies based on laws. Obviously organizations should frame these policies based on the applicable laws and values that a company wants all employees to follow. All companies can set their own value based policies as part of company brand. Understood? See, some organizations, if you observe carefully, some organizations after selling the product, periodically like weekly or monthly, they will call their customers and they will ask them whether they are satisfied with the customers or not, sorry, whether they are satisfied with the products or not. If there is any complaint, they will record the complaint and they will try to resolve those complaints in the newly, in the upcoming products, whatever the production is taking place. So they will try to incorporate a new things in order to resolve all those complaints. And few organizations, after making sales, they forget about their customers. Getting my point, students? So one organization ethical policy is like this, always keep in touch with customers, always try to resolve the customer complaints whenever customer is whenever customer is facing a problem. Other organization policy is not like that. Now obviously customers will assign to the first company organization, and customers will will leave the second organization. So second organization, it can't achieve it in long term. First organization, it will achieve success in long term. So while framing this ethics, you have to consider these following elements. Promoting green business practices. So whatever wastage is coming from your products, try to recycle them. Try to recycle them. Eliminate, try to reduce the wastage first of all. And all your practices, all your operations should be environment friendly. Suppose your particular factory is emitting pollution, air pollution. So make arrangements to separate poisonous ingredients from the the air getting from that machine and release that air. Next one, the same cleaning company could require that all products follow specific environmental standards of safety for people, pets, and the environment. Next, obeying the law. Obviously everyone is required to follow the law. Following the laws is nothing but you are acting as an ethical person. Next one, caring and consideration policies. So every organization should take care of their employees. Every organization should care their employees uniformly, equally. So there should not be any discrimination. You should not be biased, giving fair treatment to one employee and unfair treatment to another employee. You should not do like that. Next, confidentiality and privacy policies. This is the major thing. The reason, why the organizations, why the business entities are losing the customers. Suppose you are a student. Yes, let me take an example. You are a student, right? While registering in a website, any website, you are giving your personal information like your mobile numbers, your mail IDs. Now, if that organization is not maintaining confidentiality and privacy policies, it leads to the loss of your information to other business entities. Now, what happens the very next day? All the coaching institutes will try to call you. So, we are offering this course at this price. So, come and join, pay now, like that. What happens? It creates irritation. It definitely creates irritation. Yes or no? Now, you will start blocking these contacts. Let me tell you my personal example. So what happened, a year back, what I did, I opened a demat account with one broker. I don't know how my phone number and my mail ID got placed, how it was made available to the public, I don't know. Daily minimum 3 calls I used to come from the other stockbrokers. So we will offer tips, just pay us 20% commission. Are you trading? Are you active trader? So we will give you tips, we'll give you tips. Almost, if you observe my phone, my call list, 60 to 70 numbers are in my block list. 60 use it. Whenever a spam call comes, I use it to block immediately, even without answering the call. I use it to block it. The loss of personal information leads to loss of customers only. Many companies, agencies have fallen prey to the hackers stealing client information, proprietary data. One code of ethics section can require that employees maintain confidentiality while handling customers personal and private information. Next one, professional appearance policies. Your employees should have a proper dress code. Even in your schools, if you observe, dress code is there. Now you're having a dress code, definitely, it creates a uniformity, it creates a good environment among the students. Or else what happens, rich student will always try to wear a rich clothes. Middle class student will try to wear reasonable clothes. And a poor class, a poor family student, he will wear some dirty, ugly clothes. Are you getting my point, students? But having a dress code, so all the students looks equal. So fair treatment. Similarly, in a company also, all the employees of the organization must follow a proper dress code. Understood. And the dress should, this could include a uniform shirt for service providers, a suit tie for accounts representative, a business casual for Fridays. Even if you go to a vehicle showroom, the managers in sales department, they wear one kind of dress. And if you go to service department, where vehicles gets washed, the workers of the department wear another kind of dress. Next one, value chain. So yes, very important, business code of ethics and its relevance to the business. So 5 points are there: promoting green business practices, obeying the law, caring and consideration policies, confidentiality and privacy policies, professional appearance policies. 5 points, very, very important. Next, value chain. See, value chain, it's a visualization of complete business as a sequence of activities. Business organization, it get materials from suppliers. Once processing is completed, organization will supply goods to the wholesaler. Wholesaler will supply goods to the retailer. From retailer, end customer user to get the product. So this is the complete chain. In this complete chain, at every point, some value addition will take place, and that value addition has to take place according to the needs of the customer. According to the needs of the customer. Yes, from supplier we are purchasing a raw material. As a manufacturer, I'll produce a bulk quantity. For example, I'm engaged in sugar manufacturing unit. I processed, for example, on a given day, I processed some 3 tons of sugar. 3 tons of sugar. If you open godown, you'll find 3 tons of sugar. Now, is it possible for an end customer to purchase 3 tons of sugar? Can I ask customer like this? If you want to purchase it, or else don't purchase. It is not possible. It's not a correct. Now, coming to the wholesaler, what happens? These 3 tons of sugar will be divided among some 10 or 10 to 20 wholesalers, equal quantities. Wholesaler, what he will do? He will send small quantities to the retailer. Retailer will finally sell the product to the end customer. Now, end customer, what is his requirement? Maybe 1 kg or 2 kgs or 5 kgs. So according to that, packing will happen. Packing of the material will take place, and it's very easy to the end customer to get a product at a reasonable cost as well as a reasonable quantity. So directly manufacturer can't satisfy end customer. Directly it is not possible. So in this chain you can observe like this, raw material supplier, processor, wholesaler, distributor, retailer, and finally end customer. Whatever activities is happening in this plane, in this chain, so value chain activities we call it as. Management accountants provide decision support for managers in each activity of a value chain. How? So what is the need of the end customer? So accordingly carry processing activities. Even in sugar, you can see the size of the crystals. Some are very small, some are medium, and some looks like a big big thing. Now, end customer, what is his requirement? A small size crystal sugar, or medium size or large size. So for that, definitely these management accountants provide input for making a valid decisions. The design of management accounting system has to take into the consideration the needs of the managers, the new themes and challenges that managers are facing currently. Coming to the elements of value chain, four elements are there. You have to remember all these four elements. In examination they will ask you question like this: value chain and its elements. Now you have to write all these 7 points, then only you will get 7 marks. So value chain elements, we are having four elements. One is customer focus. Whatever product you are producing, whatever service you are rendering, it is according to the needs of the customer. It's not like this, producing a product and asking customer to purchase that product, whether customer is willing to purchase it or not. You are forgetting about it and you are asking customer, come on, purchase it, purchase it. It's not an ethical practice. It is not at all an ethical practice. So identify the needs of the customers, accordingly produce the goods, accordingly sell the goods. Next, the key success factors. So cost, quality, time, innovations are the important key success factors. Produce the product at a less cost with a reasonable quality and supply the product at a right time. If innovation is possible, improvement is possible, come on, implement all those improvements. Continuous improvement. Every time some small change, small improvement must be compulsory, or else what happens? Customers will go to other business people, customers will go to other organizations. At the end you will finish. You have to shut down your operations. Best example, if you take mobiles. Previously, when I was kid, I used to watch only keypad mobiles. Next, touchpad mobiles. In touchpad mobiles also, you can see the improvisations. Yes or no? Improvements in the processor, the camera quality, and the size of the memory. So everything is getting improvised over a period of time. So innovation related to this area in costing is Kaizen costing. Even a small improvement is also mandatory. Next, value chain and supply chain analysis. Value chain as a strategic framework for analysis of competitive advantage was promoted by Michael Porter. And management accountants have to become familiar with the framework and provide information to implement the framework by strategy planners. These strategy planners, they will frame strategies. For that, they need inputs, and it is you, as a management accountant, should provide valuable information. Understood? So the requirements of the customer, availability of resources, availability of machines, availability of labor, all these things helps you in framing a perfect strategy, and that perfect strategy will help a business to run in long term. Next one, mission statement of ICI. In one attempt this question was asked, so total some 13 points are there. You have to remember these points. Mission statement of ICI: the cost and management accountant professionals would ethically drive enterprises globally. It's not a drive, it's drive enterprises globally. It's not within the state or within a city or within a nation. So all the entrepreneurs, they should flourish globally by creating value to the stakeholders. Stakeholders is a broader term. Shareholders are part of stakeholders. Understood? Stakeholders includes customers, suppliers, labor, employees. Next, government, financiers, investors, shareholders. Everyone comes under stakeholders. Whereas shareholders means the person who is holding shares of a company. In the socio-economic context, society point of view as well as finance point of view, you should create value from society point of view as well as finance point of view. True competence is drawn from the integration of strategy, management and accounting. Integration, by integrating the strategies framed and management techniques, accounting things. So integrating all these things, yes, the institute is expecting the professionals would ethically drive enterprises to flourish globally, and thereby creating a value to the stakeholders, not only in a society point of view but also finance point of view, socially as well as economically. An institute has promulgated the following standards of ethic conduct. What are they? Maintain all times independence. You should be independent. Next one, don't express opinion without assessing your relationship with the client. If you had any financial relationship with the client, don't accept that engagement. You should be independent. You should be independent of thought, action, as well as you should be independent while reporting the things. Suppose if you find a mistake, a fraud in the entity, and you had a relationship with the entity, suppose the CEO of the company is your relative. Now you can't tell them the frauds. Why? Because if you disclose the frauds, what happens? The CEO may lose his job. So first assess your relationship. First assess your relationship and then accept the engagement, audit engagement, or any kind of works. When preparing cost or financial reports or statements or expressing an opinion on cost, financial reports or statements, disclose all material facts known to such member. So when you are expressing opinion on the cost reports or financial reports, if you are expressing a disclaimer opinion and a negative opinion, adverse opinion, first of all you have to disclose the facts why you are opinion, why you are expressing that opinion, or else your opinion or your reports may create some misleading among the investors, among the stakeholders. Understood? So why you are expressing the opinion, what are the material facts found by you while reporting or while auditing, you have to report them. Next one, not to disclose or use any confidential information. So don't disclose client's confidential information, or don't disclose your employer's confidential information. Best example, my client is in beverages company. For developing a formula, he invested some 10 crores rupees money. The formula for producing a beverage, I'm sorry, yeah, manufacturing beverages, he is having a formula. For developing that formula, he spent 10 crores. Now, as an auditor or as an employee, I used to know that formula very easily. Now, I should not sell that formula to my competitor, to the organization competitor. If I sell it, what happens? This organization which already invested 10 crores, it is selling product at 20 rupees. And that organization just with the zero investment, it started producing the same product and started selling at 10 rupees. Why 10 rupees? Zero investment on the formula. Why 20 rupees? 10 crores investment on the formula. Now people, they didn't think about the developer of the formula. They think about the price of the product, and they will start buying 10 rupees product. Finally this organization will shut down. So don't disclose confidential information. Next one, inform employer or client. Employer means when you select job career. Client means when you select practice career. In practice career you will have clients. In job career you will have employer. So inform employer or client about his interest, which such member, employer or client would reasonably expect to be informed. So whenever you come across some some things, some frauds or some errors, immediately inform the client. And if he is having any relationship with the client, just disclose that relationship. So what are all the things a client or employer should be heard? Immediately communicate them when you face such kind of situations. Next one, don't bargain or don't acquire any fees other than remuneration from the employer. So without employer knowledge, without client knowledge, don't expect extra remuneration. If you want extra remuneration, first contact your employer or your client. See, there is no confusion at all, ma. I'm telling you clearly, if you choose practice career, the word client is appropriate. If you choose job career, employer is appropriate. Understood? See, as an employee, you are entering into contracts with supplier and you are telling to the supplier, don't tell to my boss, I'll do one thing. So your price is 80, right? I'll make it as 85 rupees. So you'll get 5 rupees benefit, right? In that 2 rupees pay me commission. Is it ethical practice or unethical practice? Unethical practice. Take all reasonable steps in arranging any engagement as a consultant to establish a clear understanding of the scope and objectives. So understanding the scope and objectives of the work is very important. And before you start the work, make an estimation of the total cost of that assignment and communicate with your client. Conduct himself or herself towards other members with courtesy and good faith. Suppose you are a senior member of institute and a person recently qualified. He also a cost and management accountant. You are a senior cost and management accountant. Now you should create a friendly environment with your juniors also. So you should have some courtesy and good faith. Next one, not to accept any engagement to review the work for the same employer except with the knowledge of that member. Already a person A was appointed as a cost auditor to a company C Limited. Now C Limited approached you to conduct cost audit. Now before accepting that engagement, you should communicate with the existing cost auditor or retiring cost auditor. Sir, I was appointed, can I carry the work? Do you have any objection? Please raise your objections. So first communicate with the existing member or retired member and then accept the engagement. not to attempt to gain an advantage over other members by paying accepting a commission. Suppose you know that company C Limited is offering an assignment to the cost and management accountants. Okay, for this service, you know, they're ready to pay 70,000 per month. 70,000 per month. Now, you are offering something to the employee of C Limited. I'll give you 10% of fees. Please assign that work to me. Don't assign work to that person. Assign work to me. Every month I'll pay you 10% of my professional charges to you as a commission. So don't do that kind of practice. Not to maliciously or in any other manner which may adversely reflect on public or professional reputation or business of another member. Suppose you came across some frauds in the factory, frauds in the company. Now you should report them. If you are not reporting them, what happens at one day, at one point of time, they get revealed, and people will lose confidence on that company. People will lose reliabilityness on that company. Reliability. People will lose trust on that company. So it leads to the damage to the public only. So don't get involved into the matters which creates a damage to the professional reputation. At all times, maintain standards of competency. Undertake only such works if you are competent to perform. Suppose they are asking you to conduct a system audit, and you are having a zero knowledge with respect to systems. You know, they are asking you to conduct a audit in a computerized environment. You are having a zero knowledge in that computerized environment. Now don't accept the task. That's it. So remember all these 13 points, ma. Next one. Primary norms of business ethics. Norms means standard practice. And these primary norms of business ethics may include personal responsibility, corporate responsibility, loyalty, respect, trustworthiness, fairness, community, and environmental responsibility. As you all know, today a lot of stakeholders are interested in the business organization. Like customers expect quality products at reasonable prices. Employees expect a timely payment of salaries. Investors expect good returns. Creditors expect a timely settlement of their dues. Government expect a timely payment of taxes. As a business entrepreneur, you have to take all the steps to protect, to safeguard the interest of all stakeholders. And it is possible only if business entrepreneur maintains business ethics. Personal responsibility. Each and every employee, whether working at executive level or entry level, is expected to show personal responsibility. This is possible by completing task which was assigned to the employee. Corporate responsibility. Business organizations have responsibilities to their employees, to their customers or clients, to their board of directors. Next one, loyalty. Today, business organization cannot survive without employees. At the same time, employees can't survive without business organizations. Understood? So business organization and employees, they are mutually dependent on each other. So both business organizations and their employees are expected to show loyalty. Employees should also be loyal to their co-workers, managers, and the company. Customer loyalty is very important to attract a business through a positive reputation, good reputation. Understood? Next one, respect. Respect is also an important business ethic, both in the way business treats its clients, its employees, and the way its employees treat each other. Next one, trustworthiness. So trustworthiness is possible only through honesty, transparency, and reliability. When you supply quality products to the customers, customers trust that business organization. When you make timely payment of salaries to the employees, employees trust organization. So employees should feel they can trust the business to the terms of their employment, to keep the terms of employment, and clients and customers should be able to trust the business with their money, with their data, personal data, contractual obligations, and confidential information. Next one, fairness. Every business organization should provide or should treat each and employees in a fair manner. So they should not provide fair treatment to one group of employees, and they should not be unfair with another group of employees. Understood? So each and every employee should get a fair treatment. Next, community and environmental responsibility. So you are carrying business operations in the society. You have to take all the active steps, active measures in order to reduce the waste and in order to protect the environment. So finally, promote a safe, and healthy environment. Next one, internal code of ethics. A code of ethics in a business is a set of guiding principles intended to ensure business and its employees act with honesty and integrity in all areas, in all facets of its day-to-day operations, and to only engage in acts that promote a benefit to the society. So whatever employees are doing, so employees should do each and everything only for the benefit of organization. Organization should take steps for the benefit of society. According to CFAI website, members of CFA, Chartered Financial Analyst, including CFA and the candidates for CFA designation must follow the code of ethics. So what are those code of ethics? First one, act with integrity, competence, diligence, respect, and in an ethical manner with public, your clients, your prospective clients, future clients, your employees, that means co-workers, or your subordinates, next colleagues in the investment profession, and with other participants in the global capital markets. As a CFA, you may be an employer or you may be employee, but you have to maintain integrity, competence, diligence, respect, and you have to do the things in ethical manner with the public, with the clients, with the prospective clients, with your employer, with your employees, with your colleagues who are there in the investment profession, and with all the other participants in the global capital markets. Place the integrity of investment profession and interest of clients above their personal interest. Simply client interest over personal interest. You have to take steps for the benefit of your clients, not for your self benefits. Use reasonable care and exercise independent professional judgment when conducting investment analysis. Suppose you are having investment in one company and that company is not performing well, but in order to raise the investment value, you are encouraging, you are motivating all other global participants, all other investors to make investment in that company. When investments keep on growing, the value of company will grow. So like that, don't make any judgments, like that, don't make any decisions. Practice and encourage others to practice professionally. So stop doing malpractices. Promote the integrity and viability of global capital markets for ultimate benefit of society. And next, maintain and improve their professional competence and strive to improve the competence of other investment professionals. So try to improve your competence skills. Yes, this is possible by attending seminars regularly, by reading the books and analyzing the markets on regular basis. Next one, business ethics is an art or science of maintaining harmonious relationship with the society and its various groups, employees, customers, creditors, suppliers. Next, as well as reorganizing for the right or wrong of business conduct. Now, every business organization should maintain business ethics. So while drafting these ethical principles, they have to keep these 6 points in their mind. So business organization must maintain business ethics, and the business ethics must have the following features. First one, code of conduct. So what is correct, what is incorrect? Yes, what to do, what not to do. Provide a code of conduct. Next, provide protection to the social group. So provide guidelines to protect employees, understood, to protect customers, to protect the suppliers. So social group means employees, customers. Next, provide basic framework. Need willing acceptance from all the employees. Next, education and guidance. Once your code of conduct is ready, so educate employees, provide guidance to the employees, and you communicate with your investors that following ethical practices, it is not against to the making profits. So here we will make profits, but ethically. So here we are not looking at short-term profits. Here we are looking at long-term profits. Like that, educate your investors. Understood? Next one, principles of business ethics. Every business organization must maintain business ethics, and those business ethics must have following principles. One is avoid exploitation of consumers, avoid unfair trade practices. Next, fair treatment to the employees. Let me give you one example. In many reels, in YouTube or Instagram, you might have gone through these reels. Supplier 1, supplier 2, two suppliers will be there. First supplier, he will sell goods at 100. Second supplier actually 120. Now looking at supplier 1, he will reduce price to 80. What supplier 1 will do? He will also reduce price to 70 in order to get more customers. Now what supplier 2 will do, he will purchase all the things at 70 rupees. Now stock with S1 is 0. Stock with S2, yes, he is having a supplier 1 stock and he is also having his own stock. Now once the stock of supplier 1 is completed, now what supplier 2 will do? He will become a monopoly and he will fix the price like this, 200 rupees. So initially what he did, he exploited, fellow suppliers. He exploited fellow producers. And finally, he is exploiting consumers by fixing high prices. So consumer, in order to purchase that product, he is left with only one option, that is supplier 2. So definitely he will purchase the things at 200 rupees from supplier 2. So this is unfair trade practice. Understood? So avoid exploitation of consumers, avoid unfair trade practices, and provide fair treatment to the employees. If employee performs well, give him incentive. If employee is not working well, then punish him. That's it. No, you should not act in a biased manner. Understood? Next is 7 principles in business ethics. 7 principles in public life is different. 7 principles in business ethics is different. Understood? 7 principles in business ethics. You must be trustful, keep open-minded, meet obligations with employees, with customers, with suppliers, have clear documents. So whenever you enter into an agreement with supplier or employee or customer, have a clear documentation. Next, become community involved. So whenever you are making a decisions, so don't take decisions in isolated manner, involve community. So you must make actions, or you must implement actions for the benefit of community too. Maintain accounting control. So maintain accounts and be respectful. Next one, areas in business ethics. Areas in business ethics, we are having 3 areas. One is corporate social responsibility. So out of profits you earned, some portion of profits you should spend on society, for the development of society, upliftment of society. Next, fiduciary relationship to the stakeholders. So today, if you observe company type of organization, you had a concept called separate legal entity. Company is separated from its owners. Company is managed by board of directors. So investors, shareholders, on the trust of directors, they are making investments. Now maintain that confidentiality. Maintain that trust. Maintain that trust. So whatever trust is placed by the shareholders on the company, yes, the board of directors, board of directors should maintain that trust. So fiduciary responsibility means act of trust and confidence. Understood? Next, industrial espionage. Industrial espionage. So it means, appointing spies in our competitor companies. So identifying the biggest competitor, to know the trade secrets, what we are doing, we are sending our employees to work in that company in an illegal manner. So it is simply spy. So avoid these kind of things. So areas in business ethics, total 3 areas are there: corporate social responsibility, fiduciary responsibility to stakeholder, industrial espionage. So this is important from multiple choice question point of view. So identify the area which is not covered in the business ethics, like that, they may ask you. So 3 correct options you can find: corporate social responsibility, fiduciary responsibility, industrial espionage. These 3 are covered in business ethics. So the other option which is not correct, you have to highlight it. You have to select it. Next, emerging issues in business ethics. The biggest problem, the biggest concern, having business ethics. First one, business is suffering and troubles by lack of proper directions and is struck on issues like logic, reasons, etc. If you take law, it is a set of codified norms. Whether you accept it or not, you have to follow it. Whether you are in favor to the law or whether you are against to the law, at the end you have to follow the law. You have to make payment of taxes. Understood? But coming to the ethics, these are not codified norms and these keep on changing. As you all know, society, environment is dynamic in nature. So ethics is also dynamic concept. So these keep on changes. So many business organizations suffer lack of proper directions. The issues like fairness, justice, honesty are the main issues that are posing complex dilemma to the businesses. So here the point is, a business organization should maintain a balance between profit objective and ethical objectives. See, he should not focus on ethical objective ignoring profit. He should not focus on profit objectives, ignoring ethics. So he should maintain a balance, or else there creates a dilemma. A wrong or biased decision can have a profound impact on the goodwill of a company as well as its market position. Next, general business ethics, ethics of human resource management. Now, while appointing, while selecting employees, while recruiting employees, while fixing the remuneration to the employees, you have to maintain ethics. Ethics of sales and marketing, ethics of production, ethics of intellectual property, knowledge, and skills. So, if you are the owner of intellectual property, right, if you are having the rights over intellectual properties, use those rights. Don't copy or don't infringe some other person's intellectual property rights. This is also ethics. Understood? So you are the developer of a formula, you use that formula. Suppose another fellow developed the formula, now you are copying that formula, it is unethical practice. Next one, common unethical practices by executives of a corporate. First one, corruption. It may be financial or non-financial. Corruption, getting some illegal advantages. You should not do like that. Understood? Corruption means getting illegal or unwanted advantages. Next one, greed for profit or turnover. So for getting more and more profits, you are supplying cheap quality products at higher prices. So this should be eliminated. Next, accommodating a group, maybe employees, vendors, customers. This is like groupism. So you are selecting employees, you are selecting suppliers who are acting in favor of you, and you are providing benefits to them only, ignoring others. This is unethical practice. Leak of knowledge, leak of professionalism, external pressures, ego and dominance of top management, ignoring the right things. All these are common unethical practices. This can be asked for 7 marks. By writing these 7 points, you can score 7 marks. Understood? Next one, need for business ethics. Sir, why business organizations need business ethics? The first one is to stop business malpractice. I told you, right? Avoid unfair trade practices. If you promote them, so what happens? Customer gets exploited, so which is not at all good. So business malpractices are harmful to the consumers, and business ethics helps to stop business malpractices, like avoiding unfair trade practices. Next, improve customers confidence. Business ethics are needed to improve customers confidence about the quality, quantity and pricing of the products. When you provide best quality product, right quantity at a reasonable price, so it leads to customers confidence. If customer is confident on the organization, that organization can flourish in long run. Next, for the survival of the business, so business ethics are mandatory for survival of the business. Without business ethics, they can't run business in long run. Next one, for smooth functioning, so business entities follow all business ethics, then only the employees, shareholders, consumers, dealers and suppliers will be happy. So they will provide or they will give full cooperation to the business entities. Next one, safeguard customers rights, consumers rights. So consumers are having many rights, like right to health, right to be heard, right to safety, right to be informed, right to choose, right to redress. So business ethics help business organizations to safeguard consumer rights. Consumer satisfaction. So ultimately, a business organization can survive only if it meets the needs of the consumers. Understood? So first, identify the needs of consumers and produce the goods, sell the goods accordingly. So consumers will be satisfied only if business follow all the business ethics and hence are highly needed. Next, develop good relations. Business ethics are important to develop good and friendly relations between business and society. Understood? So only ethical business organizations gets confidence. It creates confidence among employees, among customers. So it creates a good relationship with these stakeholders. Healthy competition. By avoiding unfair trade practices, it creates a healthy competition. It brings efficiency, producing goods at a low cost, optimum utilization of resources. So you can increase production with a given cost, or at the given level of output, you can reduce your cost. It's all about efficiency. Hence, it is always welcome. Next, importance of labor. So business must give proper wages, salaries to them, and provide them a better working conditions. So this is all about need of business ethics in a business organization. Next one, importance of business ethics. See, all these topics looks like same. The need of business ethics, importance of business ethics, advantages of business ethics. At the end, all these three concepts will give you same conclusion. Same conclusion. So in my point of view, they are not different. But in examination, from examination point of view, if they ask you importance of business ethics, you have to write these points. If they ask you need of business ethics, you have to write these 8 or 9 points. Understood? So that's what I told you at the beginning. The biggest disadvantage with this chapter is identifying the questions. Understood? So importance of business ethics. Public expects business to exhibit high level of ethical performance, social responsibility. Encouraging business firms and their employees to behave ethically is to prevent harm to this society. First, public expectation. Next, you can prevent harm to this society by adopting ethical practices in the business. Next, promoting ethical behavior in order to protect business from abuse by unethical employees, unethical competitors. When you are ethical, customers will support your organizations. So your organization will be safe. You can survive even in the hectic competition, even in the competition in the market. High ethical performance also protects individuals who work in businesses, and it improves consumer confidence. Next one, business organization become conscious of social responsibilities. So today having business ethics, so they will take care of environment. They will try to they will initiate actions to protect environment, and they will try to improve the public livelihood. Next, create good image of business. That means goodwill only. Next, it increases profitability. When you are able to retain more number of customers in the long run, obviously your turnover will increase, your profits will also increase. Even you can survive in the heated competition. And safety from legal perspectives. When you are ethical, when you are following all the rules and regulations, all the applicable laws, you can escape from punishments. You will not be punished. Understood? Next, advantages of business ethics. It creates competitive advantage. And even in heated competition, your company can survive, your organization can survive in long run. Goodwill of the firm improves or hikes depending on its response towards its ethical issues. Next one, productivity through rigid, firm, and sincere workers as well as other business chain members. Productivity gets enhanced. Goodwill will, good reputation will increase. Productivity will increase. Through increasing morale and trust, business can increase their market share. So when your employees are working hard, and when you are having a positive image in the society, definitely you can retain existing customers, you can attract prospective customers, thereby you can increase your market share. This is an advantage. Publicity. Yes, publicity because of well and ethical performance. Acceptance of products of the company by the public. So once customer place confidence on your products, yes, your products will be sold very quickly. Overall growth of the society. When you are growing, definitely society will grow. How? When you grow, you'll get more profits. You can pay bonus to the employees, and you can you can conduct some corporate social responsibility activities. So it leads to overall growth of the society, makes change management very easy, and value integration with quality and strategy. So these are the advantages if you adopt business ethics. Next one, a recognition of ethical issues in businesses, identifying ethical problems. Having code of conduct, having basic framework, educating employees. Okay, to some extent they will work, but beyond the extent, sometimes even if company is maintaining ethical values, ethical principles, it may lack in some areas. So it is very important to identify those concerns. So first, learn to recognize ethical issues in the most is the most important step in understanding business ethics, where we are lacking. So are we rendering services in a timely manner to our customers? Are we satisfying our employees? Are we making payments to the suppliers? So where we are lacking, first identify the area. An ethical issue is an identifiable problem, situation, or opportunity that requires person to choose among several actions that may be evaluated as right or wrong, ethical or unethical. In business, such a choice often involves weighing monetary profit against what a person considers appropriate conduct. Sometimes we must look at the areas, we should not place importance on the profit. We must look at the areas where we are lacking ethical principles. The best way to judge the ethics of a decision is to look at the situation from others' point of view. Now, sitting in a business entrepreneur's position, you may think about profits, you may think about continuous growth, but you just change your position to customer, or you just think about your competitor. So, how they are thinking, what they need. So, based on that analysis, make appropriate decisions. Many business issues may seem straightforward and easy to resolve, but in reality, a person often needs several years of experience in business to understand what is acceptable or ethical. So initially, when you start business, yes, it looks like very easy to follow all these ethical principles, but in reality, it is very difficult to implement them. Over a period of time, over several years of experience, you can solve some unethical issues, you can resolve some unethical issues, and you can promote ethics. Ethics are also related to the culture in which a business operates. So in which state, in which region you are operating, so that region, that society norms, that cultural practices will also play a crucial role in deciding the ethical principles. Next one, improving ethical behavior in business. Improving ethical behavior. See, it is possible, it is influenced by three important factors. What are they? Employee moral standards, each and every individual moral standards, influence of managers and co-workers, and opportunity to engage in misconduct. So first, identify the moral standards of each and every employee. Based on that, you design a framework, you design a code of conduct, try to protect the interest of employees and the influence of managers and co-workers. And last one, opportunity to engage in misconduct. If you are unethical, if you are not making a payment of salaries in a timely manner, now employees, what they will do, they will try to sell, or they will try to destroy organization properties. Understood? So they will try to take some valuable properties, they will sell, and they will survive, but this leads to a disadvantage to the organization, which should be eliminated. So when you are ethical, definitely opportunity to engage in misconduct can be eliminated. It is very difficult for employees to determine what conduct is acceptable within a company if the firm doesn't have ethical policies and standards. So first, frame ethical policies and standards. What is right conduct, what is bad conduct, what to do, what not to do. Educate employees. Professional code of ethics are formalized rules and standards that describe what a company expects of its employees. Next, code of ethics, policies on ethics, ethical training programs, ethics training programs advance, that means improve ethical behavior, because they prescribe which activities are acceptable and which activities are not acceptable. Next one, so yes, punishment for violation of the rules and standards. So have this in your basic framework. Next, the enforcement of such codes and policies through rewards and punishments increases the acceptance of ethics standards. So if employee is implementing ethical practices, ethical principles while doing his job, yes, pay him some reward. And if an employee was found having following some unethical practices, punish him. So this will also increases the acceptance of ethical standards by employees. So in this manner, you can improve ethical behavior in the business organization. And coming to the last topic of business ethics, it is emotional intelligence. Definitely, I expect 7 marks question from this topic. It's just 1.5 page or 1 page topic. Damn sure I expect 7 marks from this topic, emotional intelligence. The emotional intelligence is also known as emotional quotient or EQ. So first of all, what is emotional intelligence? It is the ability to understand, use, manage your own emotions in positive ways in order to relieve stress, communicate effectively, empathize with others, overcome challenges, and diffuse conflict. Suppose if you are in happy mood, obviously everything looks positive only. And you are very comfortable in that situation, you feel very comfortable in that situation. But think about sadness. Suppose you fixed some goals and you are unable to fulfill those goals, you fail to achieve those goals. So definitely it's a sad moment. Now in that sad moment, how you are able to understand the situations, how you are able to use your emotions, how you are going to manage your emotions in order to come out of that bad phase or sad phase. Understood. So emotional intelligence helps you build stronger relationships, succeed at school and work, achieve your career and personal goals. Sometimes what happens, in your work, in your office, actually your capacity is, you can handle only 6 works in a day. You can handle 6 works in a day. But one day your boss called you and he assigned you some 10 works. So definitely it is beyond your capacity. Of course, it is beyond your capacity. So emotionally, you feel very bad. See, I'm doing all the works properly. So I can do only 6 works. How he can assign 10 works to me? It is not possible. So first of all, don't overthink. Don't overthink. So think about the available resources and think about your targets. Try to convert those things into your actions. Okay, it's okay, fine. Okay, you can't do 10 things, but first start the work. At the end of the day, it's okay even if you complete 8 works or if you complete 9 works. So convince your boss, okay, sir, I did only 8 works today. Balance 2 works, I'll do it the very next day. So it's all about managing your emotions when you are in a sad phase or bad phase. It can also help you to connect with your feelings, turn intention into actions, and make informed decisions about what matters most to you. Next one, emotional intelligence is commonly defined by four attributes. Four attributes. One is self management. It's your ability in managing your own emotions in healthy ways. Take initiative, follow through on commitments, and adapt to changing circumstances. Next one, self awareness. It is your ability in identifying your emotions, your thoughts, your behavior. So management means ability to manage. Awareness means ability to recognize. That means identify your weakness, your strengths, and have self confidence. Next to social awareness. It's your ability to understand the emotions, needs, concerns of other people and pick up emotional cues, feel comfortable socially. So what society is expecting. So if you are emotionally, if you are very much emotional and if you are unable to read the society needs, social needs, definitely you may end up with some bad kind of some bad behavior like that, or you may not lead a good standard, you may not have a good standard of living. Understood. Next, relationship management. You know how to develop and maintain good relationships. So relationship management is all about ability to maintain good relations with colleagues, with employees, with employers, with customers, with clients. That is understood. So what are the four attributes of emotional intelligence? Self management, ability to manage your feelings, emotions. Self awareness, ability to recognize your strengths, weakness. Social awareness, ability to understand the needs of the society and your needs in the society. Next, relationship management, ability to develop and maintain good relationship with neighbors, with employees, employers, customers, and clients. Next one, effects of emotional intelligence. See, you have to maintain emotional intelligence all times, or else what happens, without emotional intelligence, if you are unable to control your emotions, if you are unable to manage your emotions, you cannot achieve success in long run. You cannot achieve success in your career. So in order to achieve success in your career, so you must maintain emotional intelligence. So performance at school or work. High emotional intelligence can help you navigate social complexities of the workplace, lead, motivate others, and excel in your career. And if you lack emotional intelligence, what happens? It will affect your mental health. It will affect your physical health. Uncontrolled emotions create stress. It will have impact on your mental health, making you vulnerable to the anxiety and depression. If you are unable to understand the situations and get comfortable with the situation, or if you are unable to manage your emotions, definitely you will struggle to form strong relationships. This is applicable not only in the business, it is not only applicable to the business people, it is also applicable to everyone, right? You take a kid in a school, school child to business entrepreneur, each and everyone must have emotional intelligence, physical health. If you are unable to manage your emotions, you are probably not managing your stress either. This can lead to serious health problems. Uncontrolled emotions leads to uncontrolled stress, it leads to blood pressure, suppress the immune system, increases the risk of heart attacks. That means finally your physical health is going to get damaged. Next one, relationships. I told you emotional intelligence helps you to maintain good relationship with your fellow employees, colleagues. Next one, employers, neighbors, customers, clients. So if you lack emotional intelligence, you will lack a good relationships. By understanding your emotions and how to control them, you are better able to express how you feel, how you understand. This allows you to communicate more effectively and forge stronger relationships both at work and in your personal life. So, with this, the revision of business ethics is completed. The total 15 marks is in your hands.